Well, hello, everybody. This is Todd McDonald, and we'll get started here in about 5 minutes. Would you could do me a favor? Could somebody go into the questions tab and just type in "I can hear you" or anything that way, so I can know that you guys can hear me? All right, thanks, Deb. All right. I can't remember. April and Deb, Joe, do you guys have a chat button on there too, or just questions? I only been able to get on with the full access, and I'm not sure what you actually see. Okay. Please make the questions be your primary way of communicating with me so that I can see you as we go through this. Good. Thanks, Joe. Deb. I think when this is all said and done, I can unmute you and talk to you directly, but I'm going to keep in. Oh, thanks, April. And I'm going to keep the mutes on until we get towards the end. And then anybody that wants to try to have a conversation, but we could have 50 people on here and everybody talking over each other would be very distracting. All right, we're going to get started here in just 2 minutes. So all right, those of you just joining us, we're going to get started here in about 1 minute. This is Todd McDonald from the Cascade Pacific Council. Well, actually not 1 minute. Looks like it's noon. We're going to start on time. Some of you are taking time out of work to be with me today, and I want to make sure we get started well. Welcome, everybody. My name is Todd McDonald, and I'm the Director for Program for Member Experience for the Cascade Pacific Council. I want to talk a little bit about questions. If you have questions, there is a questions tab there. I am going to several points in the presentation, I have kind of the stop and answer questions. Currently, I do not have anybody monitoring the questions and answering as we go, but I kind of would prefer just to answer your questions in mass as we go. At the end, we'll have full, opening for your questions. So please do that. We are going to have some video in here, and we're going to have and sound, but experience just basically this PowerPoint presentation as mostly what you see. If you're on the phone, you're going to miss some of this, but all of this is being recorded right now and should be up on our pages and available to you afterwards. I'll send you a link of where we put this after we complete it. So with that, let's just jump right in. Oh, by the way, just in case some of you know, I've done 2 others of these with limited or some success. It takes about 30 minutes. It could go longer if you guys have lots of questions, but my presentation goes like that. It's going to sound kind of canned at first because I want to get through a lot of information, but then I want to make sure I can hear your questions. So here we go. Let's go. Again, this is me. There's my information. Feel free to write that down, todd.mcdonald@scouting.org. I answer my own emails and happy to be there for you if you have any questions. And my direct dial phone number, please don't call right now because I'm in a webinar, is 503-225-5711. So with that, let me tell you a little bit about myself. About 30 years ago, it's kind of interesting to think of that me and some amazing volunteers and a couple crazy professionals decided to do something that really had never been done in our council before, and that was camp Cub Scouts overnight. Cub Scout resident camping started about 1990. We were camping on, I don't know, 100 or so kids at Cub World, and then we took our show on the road, and over the next 3 years we added Camp Clark, or then called Adventure Cove, and we're camping over 2,000 Cub Scouts. During that time, we had to talk to a lot of parents and leaders and find out why it is that that they were concerned about going to camp. In addition to that, we also had to let them know as to how important and how amazing this program can be for them. My hope today is to both share with you as the importance of camp and the whys of it, and let you know kind of how we put it together and make sure I can answer all of your questions. It is our belief that every Cub Scout should have a resident camp. I should say every Tiger to Weeblo Cub Scout should have a overnight camping experience with us over the summer. The kids that are entering kindergarten, by the way, will become Lions this summer and fall, are not allowed to attend resident camp due to the Guide to Safe Scouting. Just interesting trivia for you. Here we go. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the whys of camp. Here's something that we came up with some years ago. Children who receive special one-on-one time with their parent boost their self-esteem, and they feel like they are seen, heard, and known. It's about mom and me, but most of our camps are nearly 1-to-1 ratio of adult to child scout. You're going to find that special one-on-one activity that has quality, value-centric activities is something that's hard to get otherwise, and were things that they will remember for a lifetime. Here's the next little why statement. Young boys and girls of today need creative ways to learn kindness, giving, and responsibility, especially when they're choosing right from wrong. Cub Scout Camp provides a unique outdoor experience and curriculum to best teach these skills through a fun and adventure and in a safe environment. It's interesting that we sugarcoat, chocolate coat, whatever you want to call it, all of our programs with fun and adventure, but it's all about helping young people make good choices and how best to become contributing members of society and fulfilled adults. And all of our programs are designed with that in mind. Okay, let's see, next one. Youth who experience the mystery and beauty of nature will learn kindness and compassion. Youth who find active challenge will learn confidence and resourcefulness. This is an interesting little promo we did for our Winter Lodge program, but it's the truth of our resident camping as well. Kindness, compassion, confidence, resourcefulness are another qualities that they get just by going. No special programs needed. The nature just does it, is its own school for that. All right, just to let you know, after this is a questions tab, so kind of be prepared. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the continuum of scouting. This is scouting theory at your best. Right now, if you have Cub Scouts, the youngest of them are very dependent on adults and people to lead them where they need to go. They need to do what they're told for the most part. We're going to teach them simple values. In schools, you'll see things like be kind, be enthusiastic, be respectful, be safe. These are safe values, things that kids will learn and can understand. We want to make sure we protect them. We put them in very safe environments to help ensure that their safety and that they can be protected by us. And finally, the youngest of Scouts, we ask them to do their best. They don't have to be great at anything. All we ask is that they try and use Scout spirit to make these things happen. Now, those of us that have kids that, we're Cub Scouts that are now in our older program, 16, 17, 18, we're leading them from dependence to independence. And those of you that have, pre-adolescence to early adolescence are knowing that that's a very difficult thing, that they are striving for more independence, but they're not quite ready for it. But we'll talk more about that here in a little bit. They go from being a follower and being led to being a leader and taking charge of their own environment, making choices. What's the difference between values and morals? Young adults will start to divide their own moral code based off their life experiences and their sets of values that learned. We don't get to really teach morals. We can expose people to good morals, but we don't teach them because it's the process of morals is a private decision made by by every individual, and it happens outside of parents. You can't tell a person how to feel and how to be. You can tell them, but they're going to decide on their own. So morals is about their own personal code that they choose to live by and direct them. And our older Scouts and Eagle Scouts are tested on their moral code and asked to discuss it in their Eagle Scout Board Review, for instance. Guess what? When they get older, we're going to put them in risk. We're going to dangle them from rocks. We're going to put them in underwater. We're going to do all sorts of things where they're going to have to experience challenge and maybe some adversity. And this risk of challenge and adversity will lead them to making decisions. And those decisions will learn to outcomes. Those outcomes will be a reflection. And from the reflection of the outcome of the decision that they made by being thrown into risk, they will develop their character and decisions on how to be in the future. We don't do that so much with Cub Scouts, maybe in a little way, but very much so as they get older. And finally, the older Scouts have to prove that they are competent. This is a very important thing to understand. When you look at the entirety of our Scout program, it really is meant that if you have a Lion Cub right now, that we're going to keep them available, busy, for about 12 years. We got a plan for them, maybe longer. If you were to draw a circle in the middle there and call it Weeblos or first-year Scouts, remember they're in the middle of that. They're ready for independence, but they need help. They're ready to become a leader, but they need help. They're ready to develop a sense of moral code, but they need help. We're going to experience some risk, as you can see. So those of you that are bringing your Weeblos to camp will understand that we're trying to develop a program to deal with kids on their level. All right. All right, so I kind of hit you with a whole lot of philosophy and the whys of camping there. And so let me know if you have any questions at this point. I'll give you just like 20 seconds to type something up if you have anything. Otherwise, we'll move on to the next part, which is going to be kind of why people want to come to our camps, or what are they concerned about when choosing our camps. Watch these questions. We'll have question part here in just a minute as well. So we'll go ahead. Let's see. I need help. Let's see. Could one of you just say doing good, or give me an that the questions tab is actually working? Somebody needs to give me an affirmation on the questions. Hello. Okay, great. Thanks, Chrissy. Yeah, it has to become somewhat interactive here. All right, here we go. Continue on. All right, I'm going to show you guys a couple of videos. These might be kind of funky. So I'm not sure, depending on your bandwidth and my bandwidth, we'll see how they go. But I'd like to put, these are available on our website. So, but it helps us talk about both of our programs. Oops, hold on. Like, here we go. Let's try it again. There we go. Oops.
Camp Clark, an exciting coastal land of exploration for Weebo Scouts and their families. Lewis and Clark's trail may have ended at the Oregon coast more than 200 years ago, but at Camp Clark, it's where your journey begins. Take the ultimate quest, an obstacle course going over, under, and through challenges, all beneath a hovering canopy of Douglas fir trees. Or race a BMX bike on a rugged mountain track. Hidden in these oceanfront forests of Oregon's Cape Lookout, 9 and 10-year-old boys and girls discover a land of history and great adventure. At the heart of Camp Clark is Nimawanachen Village, a historical tribute to the people and the things Lewis and Clark encountered while on their expedition. Play games inside a real teepee, or learn the ancient art of weaving and blacksmithing. Take aim at targets with a pellet gun, or a bow and arrow. The rolling waves of the Pacific Ocean provide a rhythmic soundtrack to your journey. You can explore tide pools and their fascinating inhabitants. Or hike down the coastline to Camp Merriweather to spy on what the older scouts are doing. Camp Clark's sandy beaches provide a daily blank canvas for your creations. Take your imagination back inside the new dining hall, where you can build Lego robotics or snap circuits. Camp Clark is where kids can grow, play, explore, discover, and learn with freedom and responsibility. It's parent-tested and kid-approved. Camp Clark, a Weebo journey to remember. An Oregon adventure awaits.
So that is we need to do some updates to this video because of a few things. So let me share what those are now, because I'm sure they're gonna come to questions. In order, you saw bikes. Our bike track is in disrepair and needs to be rebuilt. And we don't believe that the bike track will be rebuilt in 2020, just so you know. However, we're moving a bike program to the beach, and we don't know exactly how that's going to work, but we've got some plans for that. 2, we have week-long Weeblos only weeks at Clark, I guess 5-night programs. And we also have 3-night programs that are available for Tiger through Weeblo. And at those programs will be age specific. So it's more than just for, the camp is more than just for Webelos. So those are a couple of the big things. Now, the other one is that for, I don't know, almost 8 years now, we've had a Native American theme. And the intent of scouting is to change that up from time to time and to apply something different. So this year we're going with a Galactic Night theme. We're pretty excited about that. Those of you who have been around for a long time know that I ran a Galactic Night theme at Cub World back in 2007, and it was extremely popular. And so we're looking forward to the theme and how we can make that a special experience. All right, so now let's talk a little bit. Let's go in and we're going to learn a little bit about Butte Creek.
Howdy, and welcome to Butte Creek Scout Ranch, the ultimate summer camp experience for Cub Scouts and their families. Tucked among the gentle hills of the Willamette Valley, an old-fashioned town sets the stage for an enriching and educational adventure for buckaroos and cowgirls alike.
This was a great opportunity in a safe, fun environment, completely equipped with everything we needed.
Even the Daily Mail gets delivered Pony Express style.
What's this wall?
Learn all about Butte Creek's horses and then saddle up for some riding fun on the nicest herd in the West.
I thought it was great. I had a lot of fun.
Pan for riches in a nearby creek by day and sing for your supper at night. The kiddos have so much fun, they don't even realize they're doing chores.
We spend a lot of time together here and we get to do a lot of different activities every year. It's a different theme, so you get to do lots of different cool stuff.
You'll meet real cowboys with tales from the trail.
And cowgirls.
Body language. I don't know if you knew that or not, but right now he's thinking everybody likes him.
Or live like a pioneer and try your hand at washing clothes or caring for our furry friends.
It's meant a lot to my son and I, being outside in the woods.
You can also skedaddle over yonder to our popular shooting range.
Doing BB guns and archery, that's something they don't get to do every day. And it's something that they get to learn and do out here and gain leadership skills and confidence in everything they do.
Grab your partner and head out for some fun on the field.
Yeah, I did play a game anyway. It was a field game. It was exercise instead of...
If you like to tinker, build a wood toy and take it home with you too. With all the new experiences available to you here at Butte Creek, you'll be making memories that last a lifetime.
Is this feel like a very, very good or like best day? I don't know how to say it, but it's a very good day.
Butte Creek Scout Ranch. Y'all come back now, you hear? An Oregon adventure awaits.
So Emily, I'll get you. Yeah, that's great. Thanks for the question. Butte Creek is 3-night programs. I believe there's 15 sessions throughout the summer offered outside of Scotts Mills. It's also one of the closest camps to the Portland metro area for you, though. So Emily asked a question in here. Feel free to spend some time typing some up if you have any questions at this point. Next piece is going to be a little bit more about why parents choose camp and what they're worried about, and addressing those concerns. The BMX track at Meriwether is brand new, fully developed, updated every year, and it's a highlight of our council's program. So yes, good question. If you're going to summer camp this summer, get ready. And by the way, talk about risk. You wear your jeans, otherwise you're gonna skin your knees, or I did that and crashed and I don't know, at 50 some years old, falling down isn't as good as it used to be. Anyway, here we go. I'm gonna keep going, but feel free to answer, put in questions at any time. Okay, we did a survey back in November, December timeframe, and we sent this out to every Cub Scout parent that we could send it to. And we got several hundred back responses back. We asked this question: when choosing a camp for your Cub Scout aged kids, how do you prioritize the importance of the following factors? We wanted to find out what is the most most important things that parents are thinking about, and how do we overcome the fears of camp. And here is what we found. Most people were concerned the distance away from home, the travel, and the like. The confidence in the camp for cleanliness and sanitation, especially now. Parents' ability to attend. You know, they want to go. We are basically one-on-one. It's not required to have one-on-one participation at camp, but parents want to go, and they would prefer to go. What are you doing? Is the program worth it? You're going to spend a couple, $200-300 to send your kid to camp. Is it worth it? Is it available to me? Is there enough opportunities? Does it fit into our summer schedule? And safety. Is the camp safe? And what are they doing for safety? Interesting, if you look at this, there was something I thought was 1 or 2 or 3 that's not on here, which is the cost. It was in around 8 or 9 of the top 10, but these 6 were the most important concerns parents shared with us. By the way, I see a couple questions on there, and we'll get to them here in just a moment. I'm going to talk about some key things here. Is camp safe? We have a lot of adult supervision, nearly 1-to-1 scouts to adults. So if we were, the plains, we would have a lot of prairie dogs watching out for the pups and keeping us safe. We're trained scout instructors. They're trained on youth protection. They're trained on how to do things safely, and they're trained to make sure that your experience is safe. The camp is nationally accredited and is called the NCAP, National Camp Accreditation Program. Look that up sometime. It's available online, and it's about the book is like 2 inches thick of all of the rules we have to meet, and we get visited each year to be accredited early in the year to ensure that we're being safe. A lot of people don't realize that we are required to have a 24-hour health officer on site. This person has to be an EMT or better. And for instance, at Camp Clark, we actually will have a nurse on our health officer, which will be there at all times. The Oregon Health Department has to adjudicate the state statutes for organized camp, which is a whole nother set of rules. And so not only do we have to keep up with the bathrooms and restrooms and dining rules that you would have as having a restaurant, but they have to inspect our BB ranges and archery ranges and all of our wash stands and all of our outhouses and all that stuff too. And they do that every year. So it's a big part of all that. Since it's relative to this, including sleeping, dining, and restrooms, yes, they do it all. I think I answered that question. They come in and walk the camp. They do the entire camp. And so it used to be they just came in and did the bathrooms and showers, but and the dining hall. But now they do the whole thing. And actually, just to let you know, all of our camps meet with our health departments ahead of time, and we have them come in prior to opening, prior to they do their surprise inspection, to help us answer questions. So I want you to know we have a really good relationship with our health departments. Okay, next. Oh, and I should also say, like I said, we've been doing this for 30 years, and it's not all in of itself, but I've been doing this for 30 years and watching and learning and trying new things and learning about what's safe and how best to do this. Talk about food service, because a lot of people have concerns about this. Our menu is approved by a dietitian. each year. No, every menu has gluten-free, dairy-free, and vegetarian options for every meal. We don't need, I mean, we need you to tell us that you have these needs so we know how to fit you, but we plan for that ahead of time. The food service is peanut free, as you well know. Some box mixes and stuff like that don't guarantee peanut free because they do peanuts in their facility somewhere, but we do our level best to keep our stuff peanut free. And camp employs special needs cook who will prepare foods for most allergy and dietary needs. And all of our food service staff are Safe Serve trained by the state, and the kitchen is inspected by the health department. I see questions building here, and we're going to get to those in just a second. Okay, so I'm not going to forget you, I promise. We'll talk about creativity. The theme Wild West or Galactic Nights is going to capture their imagination. See, if imagination-centered program tied to values education will change, will basically literally straight inject them with values into their lives. It's one thing to become a cowboy, but if you're asked to live by the cowboy code, right, to become a cowboy, then, or cowgirl, then, you know, that cowboy code is based on our scouting values. You're going to say, you bet I'm a cowboy and I protect, you know, and I'm kind to animals, or I'm, you know, I can be trusted. You know, these things are going to be part of their values, and we're going to, for them to put on the mantle of being a cowboy or a galactic knight, or cowboy or girl and a galactic knight, they can definitely help them in the becoming. And each of them, when they come to camp, will have this becoming experience. There'll be a quest that they'll be put on, and a trainings that they'll have, and at the end they'll have to stand up and say, I promise to live by the cowboy code, or the code of the Galactic Knights, and I want to be, and they will become a wrangler or a galactic knight or a cowpoke or whatever those things are. If you've been to camp before, you know our camp staff is pretty enthusiastic, zany, crazy, creative in their own right. There's songs, skits, and fun, and most importantly for us as parents is that there's the good balance of structured versus unstructured play, which is what kids today need a lot more of. Okay, I got a couple more of these slides and I'll get to questions. Educational, 12 core competencies. These are the core competencies of scouting. Also, we have the 12 points of the Scout Law that's in there as well. And all of this will help in teaching them stuff. We will be teaching them life skills and STEM. In addition, all the advancement stuff that's in their book will be tickling advancement requirements throughout their experience. And we also find that our program helps reduce stress, improve moods, boost concentration, and increases confidence because of what the outdoors does for kids. And then finally, is camp available? One, it's pretty low cost. You know, look at a YMCA camp, or even a day camp for sports is all more expensive than what we offer. We have very flexible dates. I think there's a total of 25 sessions over 8 weeks that you can choose from. Take down this website, www.cpcbsa.org/camp scholarships. We have plenty of money, should not be an issue. Anybody that has challenges funding their way, with a candy sale right now, is all about getting kids to camp. And because of Camp for All, we've almost doubled our campership budget, or our camp scholarship budget. And we should, again, money should not be a reason why people don't go to camp. You can participate as just a parent, son or daughter thing. You come as a den or as a pack. If you sign up just as you and your parent, just sign up as an individual when you go. But if you sign up as a den or a pack, sign up through your pack's account. you're not required to have a parent attend with you. Even though you may want to have your parent with you, it is possible that plenty of scouts come without their parent every year. So just to know that. It's up to you and the parents and the scout's parent to decide whether they are ready for such a thing. And we even have times where people want to send their kid to camp, but they can't go, and during when their den is going, and the parents don't have enough vacation or some other reason why they can't attend camp with their child. And we find places, we buddy that scout up with another group going, and the parent gets to know that other group before they send, so they feel confident. Anyway, there's many ways to help. Every scout should be able to camp. And again, your district and council staff is ready to help you. All right, so feel free to keep typing up some questions, but let me, James, whatever happened to Camp Pioneer? Well, it's full for the summer. I don't know that you could get in there. Go to cpcbsa.org/pioneer. You can see all that's going on at Camp Pioneer. It's one of our most popular Scout BSA camps, and going strong. So take a look. A lot of cool things. We also have videos about what we're doing at Camp Pioneer this summer. Would it be an option for Weeblo Scouts at Clark to go visit Meriwether for their track? Are you going to include some sort of hills or jumps on the improvised beach option? So let me see if how I can answer that question. So I don't know exactly what we're going to do. If if you watch the very beginning episode of a George Lucas film that I can't say because we're using the Galactic Knights theme, you will know that there was an event that a little boy competed at, and we're trying to create an event that looks a lot like that, using recumbent beach bikes. And so it won't be the same. We are looking at bringing that bike program back, but we're going to be doing something different this year. I don't know exactly how that bike program is going to run, but that is our intent. So we'll do that. As far as going to Meriwether, this year we have this thing where we have a very special for the 3-night program. Only the Weeblo, only the Arrow of Light, or kids entering the 5th grade at this stage will be going to visit Meriwether on the 3-night program at Clark. And at the 5-night program, we have a special program for our Arrow of Light Scouts, and those people who choose to want to go visit Meriwether will have an opportunity for them to do that. So the trips to Meriwether for the older scouts are available at camp. The problem that we're running into is the quality of the program when we take 100 kids to Meriwether is not it's not been very popular. People have done it because it's the thing we told them, but so we're going to try something new with that. All right. Are all the available materials for Clark are for 9 to 10-year-olds? All of the available program for the 3-night program that I see. The 3-night program is completely redesigned. It is not a pared down version of the 5-night program. It is a 3-night program for kids from Tiger through Weeblos. And we're going to actually put kids into Tiger Den or Cub Scout dens, 1st-year Weeblo dens, and 2nd-year Weeblo dens, and they'll get age-specific programming. So it's look for a completely redesigned program and how that's going to work. Also, as far as leader guides, cpcbsa.org/Clark has our new leader guide up and ready to review. So please take a look at it. We just spent a whole week or the last 3 months building it. Put a lot of time into it. I hope you like it. Let's see. Jason, I meant to, in general, we'd be describing the facilities. I'm not sure then. I'm not sure that I understand that question, Jason. Could you give me more information? Oh, where do parents sleep? Oh, yes, I will get to that here in a little bit. I'm sorry. I'll get to that here in a little bit for the camps. I'm sorry, but actually, let me go ahead and just share that now. Almost all of our camps, Cub Scout camps, you'll be sleeping in these wooden structures called mini DACs. If you do me a favor and double check the Clark's, I haven't looked at the Butte Creek one, but if you look at the Clark's leader guide, it explains exactly what you can expect to see and what you need. There are at Clark, not at Butte Creek, but at Clark, there are still one campsite or a couple places where there are the canvas tents on a wooden floor as well there. So I am going to talk about how you sleep in those things, but that is the where do parents sleep. The parents will stay in a mini DAC next to the scouts, but not with the scouts. So hopefully that kind of answers that question. Can Boy Scouts go to camp with another troop? Oh yeah. If so, how? Talk to your DE, or if you want to email me, we can help you get that squared away. Also, Joseph, we have this let's see here. Okay. Yeah, so you can, and it's we also have at Meriwether a rover program where you can go without an adult. You just sign up and go. So I would highly recommend you looking at the Camp Meriwether rover program. But if you want your Boy Scout to go to camp, it's designed for that. We provide our own leadership for the rover program. So more on that. You may want to reach out. Jason, why don't you reach out to me directly if you run into any questions on that. All right, very good. I got to tell you, the theme, Emily, the imagination-centered values education is something that you're going to experience. And if you haven't experienced it, it's going to change your life. I've been doing this for 30 years, I'll just tell you. All right. All right, very good. April, we worked so hard on that guide. Oh my gosh. So, all right, I'm gonna go ahead and continue on. Thank you all. If you have any more questions, get them up there. I have another place coming for questions. Oh, hey, I did put this in. This is what a mini DAC looks like. I don't have a picture of the canvas tents, but imagine a mini DAC, a canvas tent, the same size as that mini DAC. And right now, some of them have bunks and some of them don't. Sooner or later, they will all have bunks in them. I'm working at trying to get cots at camp and things like that. Will your mini DAC have a cot in it? I don't know. I'm sorry. The truth is, I don't know. You might want to check ahead a week ahead of with your camp director before you go to find out what campsite you've been assigned to and whether or not there's a cot in there or not. But that's what a mini DAC looks like, and that's the whole idea. I want parents need to know. We use the word camping kind of loosely. I grew up in Southwest Washington, where camping meant figuring out how to, start a fire in a puddle, and how to set up your tent without it being soaked before you even get in it. And so it's nothing like that. You show up, you throw your stuff in here. In fact, you don't even have to haul your stuff to your campsite, really. We have these carts that are going to send your stuff to your campsite, both at Meriwether and at Butte Creek, or at Clark and Butte Creek. So I like to say those people who are afraid of camping need to understand that this is not necessarily, sleeping out under the stars, in the dirt. It's a different type of camping. What should you bring? I mean, sleeping. I think the pads, if you see the little blue pad on the right, or air mattresses, or if you want to bring a cot, All those things are possible for you. Most of the scouts and the kids can sleep easily on a pad. I found those pads, by the way, at Goodwill, so you don't have to go to REI and invest in them. Your kid's going to, if you're a Weeblo and you think your kid's going to go into Scout BSA or join a troop, it might be time. A flashlight is important, and a pillow. All right, your clothes, toiletries, and this, really all you need. I would add, for you adults, I think your own camping chair, and maybe for the scouts, a camping chair is probably a not required item, but a helpful one to have for sitting around the fire and that stuff. So that's kind of how to prepare that way. I'll jump in here to medications. Our Cub Scout camps, we go ahead and dispense their medicines. And so the medicines need to come to camp and be in their original pharmacy issued container. All right, none of these, pill boxes. Right? If you have just vitamins, that's fine. Just say that these are vitamins, right? But the actual prescription meds that they need to take, they need to bring in their original pill containers. There's some, if you have, EpiPens or some of those other things that you need to carry around with you, that works great. Leaders are allowed to deal with your own medication, which is fine. You just need to find a way to secure that so nobody can have access to it. Believe it or not, people do run into problems with kids taking adult leaders' medicines, and we want to make sure that you're taking care of that. And unit leaders are in charge of ensuring that the kids get to the health officer at the appropriate times, and that person is getting the right medicine. All right. Questions? Any questions about medicine? Yeah, yoga mats. Anything. I mean, throw it down on the ground on a hard surface, lay down on it. You think you can sleep on it, it's probably the right thing. All right. All right. Not seeing tons of questions or things at this point, so I'm gonna move on. There's questions here after this next slide. So I can't emphasize more how important it is for you to communicate to us about special needs that you might have. And it may be dietary, it could be mobility. Note that we plan to have our menus online here in May for sure, and then you can communicate to us, so that we can help plan. It takes a while sometimes to get our menus approved by dietitians. Any dietitians listening here, send me your email. I'd love to have you help. Mobility, we don't like to have, and it doesn't even work. You can't drive around our camps. So we have to, if you need to be in a wheelchair or some other thing like that, we need to work with you on that. And again, CPAP machines, it's really important for you to come up with a way to power those without, none of our campsites really have power. So having a battery powered thing, and we've just, been using a battery and an inverter, and then, and then go ahead and set those out for charging each day, and we'll charge them up and drop it back. And again, the sooner that we know about these things, the better. I think I would say single mattresses I would shoot for. If they don't have cots built into them, you can use, up to a queen would fit in there. I think it's best to plan on single mattress size. I have a single air mattress that I use in addition to a pad, depending on what I'm doing. So, and I also have a cot. So I over the years, I decide on what type of sleeping I'm going to have, depending on the event. Okay, moving on. All right. These are the websites: Butte Creek or Clark. make sure, I think the program guides are out there. I didn't check if Butte Creek went out there yesterday, but they should all be up. The 503-225-5759 is our main support line for any questions about anything, really. So if you needed an application, or if you needed to know how to sign up for an event, or if you had questions about camp and you want to call us, we're open 8:30 to 5 every day. So just go ahead and give us a call. Here's a couple email addresses that are monitored that we help. Your district executive and district committee is also set and ready. There's camp promotion chairs in nearly every district out there ready to help you. So feel free, if you don't know how to talk to your district executive, just let us know and we'll try to figure that out for you. And then obviously, I am in charge of a lot of stuff. Everything that you do that is fun is basically touched by me. However, I care about each and every one of you. And so I want to make sure that every family and every leader has everything you need to be successful in scouting. That is why I'm employed. And so don't be afraid to use me. All right, I think. Here's a question. How early can you turn in special needs forms? By the way, that was our second to last slide, and so this is our last question piece. So I have just two more other things to share, and our webinar is done. So feel free to start typing your questions if you're stuck, or if you'd like, if you have anything. So it said, do you share how early we can turn in special needs forms? So I mean, we'll take them now. Here's the thing: if nobody gets back to you about your special needs form, especially in the month of June, let's say, then you want to reach out to your camp director and make sure that they're ready for you. That's a helpful hint. They should be better. We should be better than that, but that's the best piece of advice I can give you. But we do take them as early as now. But if you need to wait until June to turn it in, at minimum 2 weeks ahead of time, but at least a month ahead of time is what we ask. All right. Oh, Sarah, did somebody tee you up for this? I need to let you know that all of our showers are being remodeled as we speak. So yes, there's showers at Butte Creek, and they're currently being completely remodeled. And why? Is it right now there are kind of yet there's a boys and a girls and a men and a women bathroom sections. And now we're going to turn that into 13 doors, 14 doors, and you open that door and there's a bathroom and a shower in there. And so anybody can use any one of those as long as there's room. And that's happening at all of our camps, but Butte Creek is the first one, and it will be done April 1st. So looking forward to showering there. Did I tell you guys about flushable kaibos? I don't think I did. I have particular, you send a program kai to learn about how to take care of your facilities, and you come up with flushable kaibos. Kaibos is an outhouse, and if you've ever used one before, they stink. They're holes in the ground full of excrement, and they tend to smell bad. However, we figured a way to cap those off, put a flushing toilet on there. There's a low, like a RV toilet on there, and it is cleaner, doesn't smell, and feels much more like a normal bathroom experience. And all of our camps are getting them. Whether they'll be all done before the summer, I don't know. We'll be probably building them throughout the summer. Just so it's coming your way. All right, any other questions? I'm going to go to my last slide here, but continue to answer questions. And I will stay on and answer any question that you have. Lastly, over 30 years of doing this, I'm always moved by the impact our camp has on parents. I don't know that as we become parents, we start trying to think of things and how to become strong families and things to do with our kids. that we get often exposed into value-centered imagination pieces that allows us to identify with our kids on their level. And our Cub Scout resident camps do that. It is not just camping with your kid. And if that's how we're selling it wrong. It is providing a meaningful opportunity for scouts and their adult mentors to imagine and play together in a safe, fun, and creative environment. And it will not only make a big impact on those boys and girls, but our parents come away year after year with very strong feelings about the impact it had on them. Okay, so if you are done and you don't have any other questions, or you just want to send me an email with your questions or contact me, feel free to do so. And that is the end of our webinar. I'm going to stay on here and answer any question that you may have. Again, thank you so much. Let's make a difference with our kids. And I have a lot of pride in the work that we've done to make these Cub Scout resident camp programs special for you and your families. And I look forward to you experiencing them this summer. Plus, I'll be at Camp Clark. So those of you coming will see me there. All right, let's see. I have a child who wears cochlear implants and they need to be dried every night in a powder dry box. I don't know about, that'd be a good question. I would assume that they have their own powdered dry box, and we can either keep that in the health lodge, or you as a parent could manage that, or adult could manage that. That doesn't seem like a tough one for us. The question is, I do not believe we have a powdered dry box at camp. If we need to get one, we will, but if that's something that you could bring with you, that would definitely help. I hope that answers that question, Donna. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate that. All right. All right, everybody. I'll give you another minute or so to ask a question. Otherwise, I'll go ahead and end this. Oh, whoop. Very good. I appreciate that, Emily. And this one will be is recorded and will be available so you can share it with others who weren't able to join us. So please do that. Be advocates for our program and make sure that they know these are available. Thank you, Emily. I look forward to meeting you this summer. Thank you, Richard. Donna, great question. I'm sure they would. Our staff want. I just don't know what that would entail. Donna, are you coming to Merriwood or to Clark or Butte Creek this summer with this scout? Oh, that's a lag. Because I really want to help you with this, but I think that this would be one of Butte Creek. Okay, so ultimately, let's get you and Melissa Miller together, and we'll do everything we can to make you successful. You having and this scout having a great experience is no like any other scout, and we'll do everything we can to ensure that that works. And that means that we, as they rotate between program to program, that we throw on a transmitter on the person talking so that the scout can hear. I'm sure we're okay with that. All right, another minute here. If any more questions. All right. You can't, oh, maybe you can't even see the questions. I'm sorry, Richard. So, the last few minutes has been with Donna, who has questions about a scout that has cochlear implants and how we can best serve them. And so if you have any other questions, please let me know. Sorry about that. Thanks, Joe. Well, in a couple years, he can come back and work for me. How's that? Holding the spot for him. Rick, if you have any questions, feel free just get me, or if you need to call me. I'm sorry, I did not notice that you guys were not seeing the questions I was reading. So. Okay, everybody. Well, I think we'll go ahead and close out today. Again, thank you all very much. Thanks you for what you do to give the gift of scouting and to make a difference in the lives of our young people. It's truly a gift, and I am so thankful for all of you. Take care, and God bless.